Welcome to Weekly Rocket League Tips, Episode 1. This is the first video in a new series where I share a few tips from each week of playing matches and training. Most of the tips will be related to improving your gameplay, teaching you tricks and techniques to give you an edge over your opponents. But I'll also share some other info with you about the game itself, like tweaks that you might want to make to your settings, as well as in-game and out-of-game resources. Each video will be just a few minutes long, so I won't go into too much detail on any one tip. However, if you guys have any questions or want any more detail about a particular tip, just let me know in the comments and I'll consider making a whole video about it. Alright, that's my intro done. Let's just get straight into the first tip. Fake challenging in defense. Fake challenging in defense means basically to drive at the player with the ball, and then instead of flipping or jumping to make a challenge, you pull away. After pulling away, you can either stay in the play and continue defending, or you can rotate back for a teammate to take over. This is something that everybody can and should start doing right away. It takes absolutely zero skill or training. It's just about having the presence of mind to start doing it in matches. Take a look at this situation. The player receiving the ball is much closer to the ball than I am, so I don't have many options available to me, whereas he has a whole ton of options. As you can see, by merely driving calmly at the player with the ball, I force him into hitting the ball upfield, whilst I remain nearby in case my teammates need me. If instead I had jumped or flipped at the ball, I may have ended up downfield out of the play, and my teammates would be in a 3v2 situation. If you can't see your opponent, they know it. Take a look at this situation here. As you can see, the player here is looking directly at the ball and can't see any other cars nearby, because he hasn't used his right stick to look around at the other players. He thinks he has a free touch on the ball, however, unbeknownst to him, this player here knows that he's totally blind and is coming for a touch that will beat him to the ball. And as you can see, he gets totally beaten. This situation could have been avoided if the first player quickly checked with his right stick to look for challenging opponents, and then adjusted his strategy or approach accordingly. So keep this in mind at all times. Be aware that your ball cam or car cam vision cone is at least vaguely known to your opponents. You should be aware of this and then be able to use it against them by doing something unexpected. Look around and expect a challenge when your vision cone doesn't include an opponent, and then adapt your play to that challenge. When last man back, be ready for the hardest touch. This one is a matter of awareness and positioning. You basically want to make sure that if you're the last defender behind your teammates, that you are carefully watching and assessing the play, and keeping a safe distance from the play to maintain a strong defense. What is a safe distance? A safe distance would be leaving enough space between yourself and the ball to be ready for the hardest possible touch from your opponents. Of course, it's impossible to predict things like pinches, which is why they're so dangerous. So you just want to make sure that you're covering your goal in the event of a really hard clear from the opposition. So don't let this happen to you. Stay a bit further back and watch the players around the ball to look out for any potential clears, and be ready for the hardest touch. Alright, that's all my tips for this week. I'll be back again next week for another bunch of tips, so make sure that you're subscribed for that video. And please like the video if you want more content like this. I'll still be releasing other types of videos. This is just one of my weekly videos that I'll do on a regular basis. Alright, as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.